Welcome back to the site. This is the second video documenting my experiences with camping small, specifically issues and workarounds in RVing in a camper van. So let's talk today about cooking. First of all, I want you to know we do have an electric cooktop and a convection oven / microwave inside the rig. Having said that, we choose not to use it. We don't cook inside. We've never even turned it on, the oven on. In such a small space, there's too much of an opportunity to spill things and make a mess. And I don't want to smell what we cooked for breakfast 6 hours later. We have used the microwave to reheat already prepared food, and I do that a lot when I'm traveling just with Arizona. Andrea, on the other hand, thinks that part of the camping experience is continuous cooking. So here are the things that we've tried, and I'll tell you how they worked for us. So, still in the box is a portable gas grill. This could have easily been a portable charcoal grill. We never even brought it along because Andrea said that cleanup would be messy, and I agree. This one is from years ago. I used to use only charcoal grills at home, and we went to a barbecue where they were using gas, and I wanted to try, but because of my fear of the large 20-pound propane tanks, I eased my way into cooking with gas with these small 1-pound tanks. The grills never lasted longer than a year or so, so I broke down and got a large gas grill for home that goes along with my charcoal grill. But if you're cooking hot dogs and burgers on these tiny grills, grease collects and there's not easy access for cleaning it. So unlike home grills, you need to almost disassemble them to clean them really well after each use. Remember, these are going inside of the van for the most part, and now we have a storage unit so they can go back there, but they're sitting outside for the week, and you know, there's animals that will be attracted if you don't do a really nice cleanup. Secondly, we don't have hookups to water sometimes, and so we're limited to our 25-gallon water tanks, and so we're trying to conserve as much as possible. And lastly, the negative for the portable charcoal grills is I didn't want to bring a lighter fluid. So I'm fine without using these small grills. Too labor intensive. Negatives for us are cleanup time, excessive use of water, and lighter fluid for the charcoals only. Then I got this combination of griddle and grill. It's by NomadiQ. I like it. It is small. It really closes down really small. It takes up a tiny bit of space. It also is run by this propane. I can't tell if it's called NomadiQ or NomadiQ. I think it's the former. But we've only used it once. We had it since we started camping. I think it may have been we used it once because it's on the small side. But we don't eat as much as we used to. Here's some pics of my weight loss journey from 2021. Bump, bump, bump. And some pics now. So I guess what's coming along, so guess what's coming on our next adventure? I think this will. It takes the 1 propane tank, like I said. You can buy, I think we prefer the griddle, so you can buy for the other side the same thing and just have 2 griddles, and that'll be enough. I think also the reason why we only use this once is we quickly moved over to Blackstone. When we first started camping, everybody on social media raved about the Blackstone. There are Facebook channels dedicated solely to cooking in the Blackstone. And after the seasoning process, I didn't think it was labor intensive, but, and the food was great. It's fired up by propane, again, the 1 propane tank, and it works fine. But all of a sudden I noticed that one day the Blackstone had been replaced. Replaced with what? An electric griddle. So here it is. electric, just like electric griddle, nothing special. You just plug it into the side of the van or electric cord. If we have electric, we plug it into the campsite if we're on that type of site. But when I asked Andrea why had the Blackstone been replaced, she said that the Blackstone took up too much space and that she didn't like to clean up. Well, we traveled with this 19-inch griddle and the tiny propane tanks on the outside storage unit here. I'll show you. Here's this. So this is what we keep it in. I don't remember ever having to put anything out of the storage because we had issues with that. So I think it was about cleanup, because the difference in the two is this griddle has a non-stick surface and it's easy to clean up, whereas the Blackstone requires, because it's cast iron, it requires some treatment. Look at that. Hasn't had any treatment in a while, so that we wouldn't be able to cook on this today. Anyway, the next thing, I started making solo trips, and I think it was, so I bought this thing right here. This is an Induction cooktop. It's electric, and a frying pan. I think I got that mainly as in protest to using the electric griddle. It's easy. You can put as much food as you want in there. You're only limited by the size of your pan. So that's pretty easy, just as easy as the griddle. Then I had this brilliant idea. Not so brilliant. This is yeah. So this is a charcoal grill, and yeah, I said I didn't want any grills, right? Said I didn't need grills, weren't going to use them again, never even brought them along. But I saw this on one of those morning shows, and I said, I'm going to try it. Why? Because it doesn't require lighter fluid. What you do with it is this. You put the charcoal inside, and then you plug it in, and that gets the charcoal, it gets hot, which lights the charcoal, and once it's lit and starts turning white, you unplug it, and then you put your food on, and you go. And so it worked well. It made really nice burgers, but just like I said for the other ones, the cleanup was awful. This one in particular, I don't think is really well made, and so to take everything out, because it was so dirty in there. So to access all that, you have to move this, and you have to move this. You have to move this, and to get down in there to clean it out, all these nuts and screws started coming off. And so I just think, I don't think it was because I didn't put it together. I think it's just not well made, and people probably don't take it apart like that in order to clean up. But that's what you have to do if you want to keep a clean space. So here's a summary of my thoughts ranked in order of preference. My preference, not Andrea's. So here's a summary of my thoughts ranked in order of preference. Mine, not Andrea's. The gas Blackstone Griddle is my favorite. You can cook anything on it. It cleans up easily, and it has a top. The electric cooktop with fry pan that holds a lot of food. You're only limited by the size of your pan. And when I go solo, like I said, I cook enough breakfast. Sometimes I just cook once a day. And so a lot of times that's breakfast. And I cook enough for the week, because camping is not all about cooking for me. And it has a top. built in. There's a theme here. The electric griddle ranks about the same as the cooktop and pan, but my job when Andrea is cooking with this griddle is often to stand beside her and shoo away the bugs. Keep the bugs out of the food. Alternatively, tops. I bought her tops, all different size tops, but I seem to be the thing that keeps the bugs off. And then lastly, the grills, either charcoal or gas. These are our least favorite, only because of the cleanup. They're the perfect size for the van, and they make great burgers though. That's it. I think you can't go wrong with a griddle. Thanks for listening, and I'll include some links below.